All right, so as we get started today's open house event, I'd like to warm welcome to all of you, and I really appreciate you taking the time to learn about our program and also have time to ask questions. Okay, so today's topic is about what makes our program unique, and I really expect to have a good time talking about this. So, as most of the music therapy time is started with music, I prepared a song. Perhaps some of you already seen it online, but this is a Chula music therapy theme song that we created. And so if you could take a look at this, that'll be great. This is the space that we do have intensives. Troubles to melt away, creating music, let us fly away. We believe in music, true music therapy, true music Okay, so that was recorded during the last intensive. So again, if you are able, please turn on your camera so you can have more interactive experience. And if you have any questions while I explain, please use the chat box to submit your question. So you can submit your question at any time. We will have Q&A session at the end. I can see that everyone muted your microphone. So please keep that way until you want to ask your questions. And if you can turn your screen name to your full name so we can cross-check with the list, that would be great. Okay, so what makes our program unique? I would like to start by sharing about our faculty. So we have quite unique program that makes it as an international program that enables you to not go as far as to the Europe or United States to study with the internationally trained faculty members. So I have been trained in the United States from both bachelor's to master's and PhD, all in music therapy. And we have Dr. Jos and Dr. Catherine from Belgium, who is really internationally well-known and respected scholars, researchers. And they have their own music therapy program in Belgium called Lucas School of Arts. And we have Dr. Heather Wagner, who is also a director of music therapy in Connecticut State University in United States. So she teaches one of the neurologic based understanding of human brain and musicology. We have Dr. Funian from Taiwan. She is also she's not an adjunct anymore. She is a full-time direct music therapy professor in Taiwan. And she also helps us with our program. We had Miss Vivian Chen, who is helping us with clinical training program, and she's the currently the president of the World Federation of Music Therapy. So we have quite dynamic group of faculty members from different parts of the country with different training in improvisation to neurologic music therapy, GIM, which is very advanced psychotherapeutic method. And from people who have had a long time of practicing in psychiatric hospitals, hospice and palliative care, private practice. I myself have has worked as a director of Gaon Music Wellness Center in Korea for a long time. So we bring a very unique set of perspectives, theoretical frameworks, and expertise in clinical experiences. And also starting this March, we have invited two new faculty members. So actually, both of them are from our first batch of graduates. So they have been working as a music therapist, and we are very lucky to invite them to help out with the clinical training program. And also, we have medical courses designed for music therapists. So Dr. Bawida is actually a medical doctor before she studied music therapy. So she brings a unique perspective in coordinating those courses. We have wonderful faculty from psychology, music, and medical area. And the co-founder of our program, Dr. Busa Vincent, has played a wonderful role. Dr. Fuasabari, who is the current program director, they are both from Thai music, but they have devoted their work in establishing our music therapy program, and I'm really grateful for their efforts. Our current dean, Dr. Kom, has been really supportive in seeing our program develop and evolve into more advanced level of program. So here's just a quick photo of uh, the faculty members from last intensive. So we get together to discuss how to improve those intensives and course programs and curriculums on a regular basis. So next part I want to talk about is our campus. Can I talk about it? Cannot talk about the unique program without talking about the campus. So Chulalongkorn University covers more than 1 million square meter in the Siam area of Bangkok. And this colored area is the Faculty of Fine and Applied Arts, where the pointer is pointing towards. And so, because the campus is so huge, we have, I think, 6 to 8 different like bus lines that is free for students. It's called Pink Bus. So we take those to get around the get around the campus. So I just wanted to show you some beautiful pictures that I took from the campus with a very historic and the monumental buildings that the government has protected. This is the Faculty of Fine and Applied Arts, where we study, and also there are a lot of exciting events happening because the royal family visits. The event happened in this university a lot. Okay, and we have various spaces that are dedicated to our program. So this is the international room. So we have various international programs for music therapy, creative arts therapy, curatorial practice. So we share these spaces as we have different intensive period during the semester. So there's for the lecture. You saw that video where we are recording the song. It was this space with musical instruments, and we just put in order for another set of instruments more than what you are looking at now. So we are hoping to prepare even more for more extensive experience that we can provide. This is the main classroom that we usually use when we meet during the intensive. And also, we just built this state-of-the-art auditorium in the first floor, so we can also have certain concerts and events. And the symposium that we are going to have in March, we are going to have it in this space. So I hope you will be interested in coming to that symposium, and it'll be great to see you there. The next part that I want to talk about is our focus of learning. I don't know how much you have researched into what music therapy is, but it is basically using music to help those who have clinical difficulties or challenges in life that needs professional help. So we use music to as a tool to bring those changes, whether it's se- cognitive, physical, psychosocial, even sometimes spiritual. So in order to do that, the relationship that we build with our client and using music functionally is very, very important. So teaching classes in just a theoretical level or research is not going to train good clinicians. So the teaching needs to be based on experiential learning, where we become therapists, students become client. Sometimes we switch the role. Students learn about how to plan the sessions, carry out the session, and also change roles between them. So you will see that we engage students a lot in playing the instruments, generate their own music, improvise together. And usually this happens during the intensive when we meet. And so we use a lot of musical exchange, whether vocal, instrumental, or improvisation. And you can see that how engaging these classes are. So during the last intensive, I have brought one of the musical creative work that I created with my colleagues in Korea. So we developed something called therapeutic musical play, and this was intended to invite our clients to take different roles in playing the music, singing the music, and also participate in the play, musical play, as the voices. So I introduced it as a way to expand the musical interventions that we provide, and this is a video that we recorded that day.
Don't know where should I go? Don't know what should I do? Nothing seems fuzzy and unclear. So strange, can
There are many
understand.
clips.
Is there a such thing as true happiness? If you wanna be my friend, please come see me each day. What is precious to us may seem unclear to our eyes. We can only feel it through the heart. If we hold on to time and memory we share, I know we'll always multiply each other. What is precious to us, we can see it only through our heart. Just remember all the time we share. Just remember all the time we share. Just remember all the time we share. Just remember all the time we share.
So during the intensives, which happens once in March and once in October to November, we meet for 2 weeks. And just like it's called intensive, the intensive is very intense. We start at 9 in the morning and at 5 p.m. But sometimes students wanted to have more musical exchanges. So we have even started additional evening programs, and you'll talk about that. So you can see in these pictures, you can see that they are taking the role as the leading certain musical experiences as a therapist role. So we take turns in practicing what you have learned in classes. Sometimes we also involve other creative arts materials like drawing or moving and dancing. We also have creative arts program with drama therapists and art therapists. So sometimes we have chance to learn from them as well. So I hope you will this kind of illustrated the point that the education for music therapy has to be very hands-on, and it helps you when we engage in experiential learning. it helps you to understand fully how what it's like to work with client. And sometimes courses don't cover everything, so we try to add additional workshops. That's what we started to do last time in the evenings. So we invited a phenomenal drummer who plays really mean djembes and congas, and he provided a highly technical instruction on how to play the drums. So we had really good time learning and playing different techniques on these instruments was very, very helpful. And some got really carried away, and their hands got all red at the end of the day. But it was very helpful in understanding how percussion instruments can be used in clinical situations in a more effective way. So there was the event. And also, with discussing about how can we use some of the evenings. Sometimes they go out for dinners together and even go to see some concerts. But as a music therapist, we need more hands-on experience together. So what we decided to do is start jam and learn sessions, which is we already have many talented musicians and music educators. So sometimes they took role in leading a group singing, group musical instrumental playing, teaching each other how to play the guitar or something like that. So these Jam and Learn sessions took place about 4 times this during the 2 weeks period. So they have time to rest sometime, also learn from each other. And one of those nights, we recorded the song you heard the first when we first started. So here we have the singer who is talking about how to breathe and create more solid sound without hurting your voice. Here we had a choral director who provide the experience working through singing a cappella in different parts. And so these pictures were from that too. And here we came up with some popular musical numbers and use certain instruments, guitar, drum, and different instruments that we can utilize. We don't have all the full band instruments, but how can you play the band music with music therapy instruments? So that's what we had that day. Okay, and since our students come from, since it's an international program, we have students from Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, Singapore, Taiwan, China. And I think we haven't, in the first time, we also had a student from India. So it's really multicultural experience. So we try to also have chance to learn from each other, like one of the very popular songs from their culture. So this was a multicultural day during from one of those intensive nights. So you can see that they were really having fun introducing their culture and songs and also language. So I also created clips of some videos from that day. So we all learned pizza craft that day. From Philippines. The one before that was from Malaysia. From Indonesia. You know this song? Okay, so multicultural issue is very important in this time of world, and we never know after studying with us where you will get a job. So this kind of experience could help us to be ready for multicultural music making and working with various clients. Um, I also try to take our students to different international conferences, engagement with other professionals from different part of the world. So this picture was taken from 2 years ago when I went to Canada. There was a World Congress of Music Therapy and tried to introduce our program there and meet with other people. This was taken last year when we went to Berlin, Germany. So it was an International Music and Medicine Conference. So we had three students coming with me, and I had three presentations done. And so it was very busy, but very rewarding and wonderful to meet and network with many people from there. Also, since we have faculty from Belgium, Dr. Jos and Dr. Catherine, so they have created International Week program and International Internship program. So we several of our students are invited to come to Belgium and stay there for 4 or 5 days. Interact with the students in Belgium, learn from them. Also, we bring our program there, so exchange our expertise and engage in also cultural learning there. So this is the lecture that we had at the Belgium in the hospital. Also, we engage in a lot of musical exchange, improvisation based. So there was really a wonderful experience. So this time we decided to bring the international program to us. So we are going to have International Week and International Symposium in March. So International Week start during the week on Wednesday, and so we are going to have students from Belgium and also Tonghai University in Taiwan, and they will come participate with us in learning various music therapy courses for that week. And at the end of that week, we are going to participate in this international symposium. So there are still time for you to register and come participate. So it's going to be happening on 22nd of March. It's free. There is no cost. You just need to pay for the transportation and while you stay in Bangkok. So please check it out. It's also on our website and Facebook where you can register for the program. So we are very excited and that this will provide us with exciting opportunity to network with students from different schools and different countries. And we have already several participants signed up. So we have limited seats available. So if you're interested, I recommend that you sign up quickly. Also, we encourage students to present their work. And so this is the Asian Pacific Hospice and Palliative Care Congress, which is happening in Kuching, Malaysia. So one of our second year students submitted her abstract about her clinical work in Bumrungrad International Hospital that's taking place right now, and it was accepted. So she'll be traveling there to present on behalf of our program. So these international collaborations and presentations will continue to happen. And I hope that this kind of international presence will take place more in the future. We also work closely with our clinical training institutions and clinical training partners. A lot of our applicants have questions like, I live in different country. How can I find a placement in my country? So what we try to do is contact the local music therapy association. For example, there is a wonderful music therapy association in Singapore, in Malaysia, and also Indonesia. So we contact with the music therapist and see if they can take the students and bring them to their site and observe. Start with observation, and when they are more seasoned, they will be start to engage in more roles in co-leading sessions and also partly leading their own sessions. So we have been expanding our clinical training partners in different countries, and also students are asked to go out into different clinical areas and meet with different people if they want to create a new music therapy program. And if they make the initial contact, I will jump in and talk with the director if they are interested in and collaborating to train a new professional. If there is no music therapist in your area, we assign a remote supervision program. So we'll find the best music therapist who knows about similar clinical environment and the population so that they will provide supervision one-on-one each week. So, no clinical training program is perfect. There is always challenges, but we have been able to solve those problems and being able to find good placements for our students and provide good experience for them. We designed this uniform for our students. Many places wanted students to have something that looks more, professional, and also that it distinguishes students from, visitors. So we found a good place in Bangkok to design this, and also a name pin that you can see on the bottom right corner. So if you prefer not to get it, it's okay. And it always depends on the policy of the institution where you will be doing your practicum or internship. But there is this option to use. Also, when you have chance, we try to bring students to the clinical training sites in Bangkok. So on this day, we took tuk-tuk to Chula Memorial Hospital together, and we visited the Dementia Care Center located in King Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital. So the music therapist on the right is Kuneje, who has been trained in Australia and has been working in the hospital. So she's giving a tour of the unit. What's the music therapy program like? What's the routine of the programs they provide? What are the goals and interventions and so forth? So that the students can also gain more hands-on experience and what the real world looks like. So this is the photo taken after that. Also, we have Kun Puchong, who is the president of the Thai Music Therapy Association here, right here, on the white gown in the second row. So he has been our also wonderful supporter and supervisor for our students. So on this day, several students visited the Sri Hospital Palliative Care Center. So they also received various education about how it is like to work in a clinical environment and how to network and interact with the medical professionals. Another unique aspect I'd like to focus is, to help students to utilize technology in their clinical work. So in this time of age, and especially with certain population with limited physical mobility or interested in more technology-based music, it's important for music therapists to also need to use more functional use of technology around us. So in this class, I was demonstrating how to use iPad in sessions. And also, I've been involved with a huge music therapy based smart technology development project in Korea. So I developed this application where you can extend your arms and the screen detects your hand and it plays those instruments you selected. So with the background music. So we are trying to train the students the concept of engaging music therapy concept into technology and how it can also be used in providing therapeutic experience and educational therapeutic educational program. This is another application that I developed. Um, when the user listens to the music and it is asking, select the emotion the music is expressing and show it with your face. So the user is now showing with his face that it's a happy music. So now he says, yes, that's correct. So it's an emotion recognition program for children with autism and developmental disability. So there are multiple ways how we can use the technology in clinical settings, and I try to encourage that as well. Also, since when we get together in during the intensive, we help students to develop strong relationship between them. Music therapy is a very small world, and so for long time, they will need to work together in engaging in peer supervision and coming up with ideas, maybe even creating a new therapeutic services together. Actually, one of several of our first alumni members created music therapy services called Attune Music Therapy. So it's really exciting to see their continuing collaboration and relationship developing. So they have a lot of evening get-togethers, checking out new restaurants and different places. I also meet with alumni during this time so that we not only work as a team, as a student colleagues, but also good friends. So this is the table that we use to eat snacks and lunch together during the lecture days. So you will also see how they spend a lot of time together and also take pictures during in the beautiful campus. And this on this day we took picture based on like which country they came from. So we have pictures of the group. And when they have to say goodbye, it's so hard to say goodbye. So they get in group hug and, so just wanted to, I'm usually taking photos. So I'm not part of the group oftentimes, but we also share those sentiments as well. Another thing that I'm really proud of is our continued collaboration with the alumni. They created Music Therapy Alumni Club at Chula University. So we have been discussing ways to improve their job promotion, their skills beyond advanced level that they were trained. So sometimes we will have joint workshops. When we have open house, sometimes the Music Therapy Alumni Club will come and run the open house together. And so the next international symposium will be also hosted by our program and also the MTAC. So on this day, we had alumni graduates who visited our campus and shared their current experience of working in different areas. So we have music therapists who are working in private setting, medical hospital, psychiatric setting, and involved in various projects. We also have one alumni who is in the screen, connecting with on the Zoom. So he is working in a palliative care setting. So it was really informative day of learning from the graduates and how they created their career and also creating different opportunities for job development. So this was the group photo from that day. And whenever we have these intensives, we try to also have various community events providing free lectures about music therapy. So I have done music therapy workshop for medical staff at Bumrungrad International Hospital. Also visited King Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital to provide lecture on how music therapy is used in medical setting, especially in hospice and palliative care. And also recently we had a lecture at the same place, and we provide a lecture on the different parts of the medical settings that music therapy has been utilized. So the initial practice has been studied out. Uh, it differs where it's studied out in different countries. Some places started out with working with children with developmental disability. Some countries started out with psychiatric hospital, and some places are studying with nursing homes for elderly who is experiencing dementia, Alzheimer's disease. So the practice seems like narrow in certain places, but when you look at the entire scope of practice that music therapists are engaged in, it's really wide and there are various ways that we can practice. So it was a really wonderful way to introduce various settings even in the hospital itself. So, for example, neonatal intensive care unit for tiny babies who are born prematurely, working with people in the emergency care rooms, ERs, um, uh, providing music therapy to patients who are waiting to have surgery or heart transplant, um, uh, providing music therapy to hospice palliative care who is having life-threatening illnesses and who is struggling through spiritual issues and existential issues. Providing music therapy to stroke patients who lost their ability to talk or walk, and we are using music to enhance their recovery from that and regain those functions. So there are multiple ways. Even there are music therapists who work with childbirth mothers, so that as s- difficult and painful the process is, it can be eased with assistance with breathing technique with music and live music that entrains with the breathing and the heartbeat. So, you'll be surprised to know the multiple applications of music therapy in different places. And of course, music therapy in the Southeast Asian countries are quite, it's at the birth of starting in many different places. Uh, and that means more opportunities will rise, and that many places will be interested in studying. And so we hope that our program will contribute to training the future music therapist in this area. Okay, so that's all I have prepared for introducing the unique aspects of our program. And I will go through some of the questions. But before that, let's take a picture so that I can also leave a record of this event. So even though you are not having your pic camera on, if you can do that now, it'll be great so that we have more people picture. Okay. And then we'll move on to the question and answer period. All right, I'll take picture now. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, great. I'll do one more. 1, 2, 3, smile. Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay. So if you have questions, I guess I went really fast. Please use the chat box. And I also have the questions that you entered in the application form for this event. So I can also go through that if there are no other questions. Okay, so we already have a question here. So in finishing the program, can you be qualified to sit on any of the board exams that Mr. Wright? Okay, well, you have researched a lot. So yes, there are qualification programs in US called Certification Board for Music Therapy, so MTBC, and which I have. So we already have two of our graduates applied and passed the exam. So yes, we can get that, and we have also other students, other alumni applying for that certification in Australia. So our curriculum is very extensive in that it covers all the requirements with a training program. And we have a lot of exchange with those faculty members. We know each other, so we'll be able to work out a way to have our students apply for that. For UK, we have not tried yet, and we'll have to see the details. So usually the first alumni who try that will be the one who ask us what kind of documentation that we need to provide. But I don't think it will be a problem for others. Do I need to have a music therapy diploma to qualify for this program? So there is no prerequisites for either to have, you know, bachelor's in music or psychology. There's none of that. Um, any kind of background is okay, but we need to look at your um, musical, you know, musical skills in at the functioning level. So when you talk about functioning level means that how can we use our musical skills to engage in our clients, to sing together, play instruments together, go through certain improvisation together. So you don't need to be a concert, pianist, but if you can accompany songs to sing with the popular songs, art songs, folk songs, there'll be great skills to have. So, and what we require is 4-year bachelor's degree in any area. Okay. So it doesn't have to be music related. Scholarships. So the scholarships are available for international students or even Thai students. It changes from time to time, and there is no direct scholarship coming from our program. So, that will be really nice, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to get some funding for that. But now we have the university scholarship that comes from, I think it comes from the graduate school. So it's called scholarship for ASEAN and non-ASEAN students. And so they have their own set of requirements. And so you will need to provide separate application packet once you are admitted to our program. And um, one of the conditions that you receive their funding is to live in Thailand because they provide stipend too. But our program is international program, which does not require. So I don't think they provide the same rate as people who live inside. But we have students who have been receiving at least some partial support from the scholarship. So I know that financial burden is huge, but some students have been getting some part of the scholarship. Not everyone, though. I think the funding is limited. So I think they look at your bachelor's degree GPA and also English score. Even if you come from university where English was the main language, they still require the official language score. So for the scholarship purpose. So even though our program does not require that for students who graduate from English based university, you will need to prepare for that as well. Okay, so if you're interested in scholarship, please do search on our main university website to find more information there. And but when you actually apply for it, you'll be submitting the documents to us so we can pass it to that department. Besides Belgium does have a list of established partnership with schools outside of Asia or exchange program. So, like you just saw, we are going to have students from Taiwan who will be visiting this time. So we are hoping that I think our alumni are planning a group group visit to also look at the music therapy program there and get trained in some short seminars. And we are very much interested in expanding our international partnership. But even just keeping up with one, it's 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 a lot of work. So we'll see how that goes. What level of musical skills is necessary to succeed in this program? Well, um, that's very difficult to answer, difficult question to answer because um, depending on where you work and who you work with, your required musical skills will change. So let's say if you work with um, a child with developmental disability, which means that their developmental age is much younger than their chronological age. So the musical complexity that we can provide is much, more at the younger developmental age. So we
Hello.
are not required to provide really high level of musicianship. But if you are working in a high school with teenagers with emotional and behavioral challenges, then they have been listening to this, most up-to-date current music. So, and if you are providing musical experience that is subpar, they'll be disappointed. So, if you're working with that population, you will find yourself learning the drum and the electric guitar. I know many music therapists who are continuing to learn different instruments and repertoires because they have to keep up with their clientele. So, and there are music therapists who work in a medical setting, working with patients who are in a lot of pain. And because of that, they have difficult time playing instruments or singing themselves. So oftentimes what they will do is, can I just listen to some music? So we will provide experiences that they can relax to music. So something called progressive muscle relaxation, guided music and imagery, and music and reminiscence, which is using music to revisit your past memories. So when we do that, then the therapist will bring their main instruments. For me, I brought my violin and provided live music. So I try to play as beautifully as possible and practice some of the music. So in that setting, you are going to be needing, more advanced musical skills on your main instruments. So um, the question about the succeed is it depends, and it differs from setting to setting where you work. And also, so I would recommend identifying your weak areas and continue to work on that. Okay? Spiritual issues a couple of times. What do you mean by that? So, when we talk about the spiritual, we oftentimes think about religious things. But you know, when we think about our life, we oftentimes have this um, sense of mission in my life. What do I live for? What is more valued life? If I am going to die, um, what kind of values do I stick to? And if I have to say goodbye, what kind of things do I have to say? I want to leave some kind of legacy. So, talking about your existential issues and how you want to say goodbye, all these are very spiritual issues. It's not about how you think, it's about how you give meaning to your life. So, when you are working in that sense, it's very spiritual than to any other goals that we have, like physical, emotional, social, and so forth. Wow, very good questions. I didn't expect that. Okay, follow on the first question. Does it require residence in the country? So, we developed our program this hybrid manner because music therapists who have been trained elsewhere For example, myself, when I was trained in the United States, I graduated from both bachelor's and master's in 2002 and came back to Korea. The problem was that I practiced so hard in English songs and all those cultural things about the North American culture. I was learning about how to lead sessions about Halloween and how to, provide sessions about during the Christmas time. So the music that I learned there was totally different, and I could not use those skills in Korea right away. So I had to find another supervisor, develop my own different repertoires in Korea, and I struggled a lot because there were, not that many, good music therapists back then. I was one of the very, first starters in Korea. So by having our students live in their own country and study on the theoretical research related and the basic fundamental knowledge about music therapy, just like what we are doing now. And although we have online courses, I try to make it very interactive so that we ask questions a lot, have discussions. Sometimes we will use the group subgroup activities so that I can assign students to different rooms so that using this hybrid method, we emphasize the more didactic learning of method. And when we meet in person in Bangkok for 2 weeks each time, we teach the actual skills that needs to happen. So most of our students live in their home country and engage in practicum training with a local music therapist and then they come to Bangkok. But I also sometimes have seen students who could not find a music therapist locally. So starting this semester, what we have started to do is find international schools in Bangkok. There are a lot of international schools. So then music therapy program that we provide will be offered in English, not Thai. So our international students who really wish that they want to stay in Thailand and also be supervised by Thai supervisor, then we can arrange that to happen. But my first advice will be um, try to work with local institutions, schools, hospitals, because when you are finished training, they might consider hiring you as well because of that period of clinical training. They have seen how music therapy could contribute to their work in their hospital and institutions. So I think having professional help from other music therapists, even remotely, it increases your chance to work with local professionals and create your job opportunities. I have done a lot of presentations and free sessions when I first came to Korea. So I know that many countries don't even know anything about music therapy. So many of our students are engaging in that activity as well, promoting music therapy, educating professionals about understanding, how music therapy can help, and doing public sessions about seminars about what music therapy is. Um, but so everyone right now these days is considered pioneer because even though there are music therapists who started a few years ago, it takes a whole group of music therapists to do that work. Okay, so please keep the questions coming. I'll move on to the list. Okay, so one question I got from the list was that what qualification is required to intern in Thailand? So there is no separate qualification needed, but if you are applying for an internship in certain hospital, the director might want to interview you. And so they have the right, they reserve the right whether to accept, although we are recommending to send our students to the international school or international hospital. So I wouldn't know all the qualification, but they will have their own health requirements, whether you have all the shots, and also they will do some criminal check. Hopefully, you don't have any criminal records. And but besides that, I think if we trust in your ability to represent our program and do internship there, and that's what we work towards to help you be trained to do that. So so we'll help you to secure that internship or practicum. Okay, scholarship, we talked about that. Okay. So similar question, what skill level of music? And I think I tried to answer that. So, and you don't have to have music background from your bachelor's program. Um, there was a question about, is there any possibility of full tuition waiver? That would be really nice, but sorry, there is no such opportunity right now. So even the scholarship that I talked about, the scholarship for ASEAN and non-ASEAN students, it's only partial of the tuition. Okay, exchange program. So the only exchange program that we have right now is with Lucca School of Arts, which is in Belgium. And so one or two of our batch students will be selected. And so our program is consists of 4 semesters. And for the first 3 semesters, the students will be staying, working with us closely. On the final semester, those one or two selected students will travel to Belgium and take classes at Lucas School of Arts and do internship at a psychiatric hospital in Belgium. Um, I sometimes require students to take one or two classes online with us so that they still maintain the close contact with our program while being there. So the Zoom classes can still change. It can still happen. We don't have any other exchange program with other schools at this point. And even with Tonghai, I think it will happen like having students visit during the break or something like this, short visit. But it's not going to be like full-term exchange student program. Okay. Is there any music therapy internship in Beijing? So previously we had students from China. So right now we have students who are finishing their internship in Shanghai. And it has been a little bit difficult to find local music therapists who will supervise in the similar style of music therapy practice that we provided. So I have identified music therapists in China who was trained in US and have MTBC, but they are located in um, the southwest corner or the Shanghai area, and I haven't found one in Beijing. But we never know. I'm still communicating with people, and so there are music therapists who graduated from the program in China. So the Beijing Conservatory. Um, but since the program itself is very different, we are not very sure. But we can try to continue to explore. So our current Chinese students have been traveling to different part of the country to be able to work with the music therapist who is trained elsewhere. Okay, what should I prepare to apply for a program? Okay, so maybe I can go back to the slide. I have some slides that I have prepared just in case I get questions like that. So Share. There we go. First, you will want to know the important dates that are associated with the admission. So, like I explained before, the International Symposium will take place on 22nd of March, and we are going to have offline open booth the same day from 5 p.m. So you can also come see us and talk, ask questions in a more individual way. The application due dates will be 18th April, and all the materials should be submitted by then. And the interview dates will be on the 19th. It will be announced on the 19th, and we will interview either 23rd or 24th, depending on how many applicants we get. And the admission results will be announced by 30th of April. So for preparing for the application, you'll be submitting online application form from our website. So if you click on apply on our website, you'll be connected to the university sites. You'll need to prepare for a photograph and national ID card for Thai people or passport copy for non-international students. We need official copy of transcripts from your bachelor's degree and also um, proof of English proficiency test. So tests like IELTS, TOEFL, and we don't accept TOEIC, so you will need to take those. Or if you graduated from university where English was the main instructional language, then you can provide a proof of that from the university. But like I said, if you want to try applying for the scholarship, you will still need to submit the English proficiency score. Um, Please provide two letters of recommendation, and we require one from academic reference. And so sometimes some students who have graduated from university a long time ago and they don't have anyone who knows them or the professor is not available. So I get questions like what do I do in those questions in those situations? So the main thing that we are trying to find out is your aptitude and readiness as a student, how you are receptive and how you work as a student. So if some other ways that can, if you have other reference who can provide their observation of you in learning a different or developing different things in a creative ways and engaging in more like scholarly event, like someone who knows how you have been working on certain projects, gaining other language scores. Maybe that could work. So we will still consider, even if the both of the recommendation forms are not from academic reference, although we prefer that. You will be asked to provide reason why you couldn't do that, and then um, explain in the email how this person is better equipped to assess your ability to tell us your academic readiness. Okay, statement of purpose between 750 to 1,000 words, and I have a separate slide explaining that, so we'll talk about it later. Curriculum vitae explaining your experiences, not just list of dates and the simple title of what you did in that job or position. Maybe your description of what your roles were. It'll be more helpful for us to understand your background. And you will need to submit YouTube playlist link. So we need to get just one link to the playlist. So the playlist will have several videos of you singing and accompanying yourself and improvising and a main piece. So this is the English score required, and this is the recommendation that what you can discuss in your statement of purpose. So one of the important thing is to think about your personal motivation and why you are pursuing music therapy. Um, Sometimes people have misunderstandings about what music therapy is. And some, in certain cases, I have seen students say, "Oh, I couldn't succeed as a musician. It's so hard. So I think music therapy is something that I can do." Um, and if that's the reason you're applying, I would ask you to think twice. Um, if you are trying to help someone with clinical challenges, we are talking about people who are really in difficult situations. For example, children with developmental needs, child with intellectual disability, autism, they have real difficult time understanding language and communicating with others. Sometimes their behaviors are rough. And so we need to learn the human behaviors, how to manage and reinforce their behaviors in a positive way, which requires a lot of patience. If you're working in a medical setting, you need to really do well on our medical classes, understand those medical terminology and human biological responses to the musical stimuli. So the study is going to be actually more difficult for some who mainly practiced music and never done academic study. So they'll be required to do more reading and studying and emphasize that. So I think I have another slide that talk about the value. Who is, you know, who is this for? Nope, that's not it. Oh, yep. So I think it's more about the attitude and your beliefs. Um, if you think that people change under the right conditions, with the right motivations, if they are in a good relationship with people, that, although changing someone is very difficult, but I have changed because of the influence from someone who was important in my life, my teacher, my mentor, my, sometimes pastor or whoever, monk. So, spiritual leaders. So if you believe that people can change and under the right circumstances, I think that's the important condition that we believe in. If you don't think people never change, why should we become a therapist or educators? And we are professionals who believe in the power of music. We are not, um, you know, we are not just using music as a background music, and try to make people happy through music. Actually, music has so much more in-depth power that can change our mood, emotion, how we think, how we relate to life. Um, and so we need to believe in the power of music more strongly than, oh yeah, I like music and it's fun. Um, and it's very important that you are interested in people, that you want to help other people. If you are the type who, I feel much better living in my own project. I don't want to deal with other people. I'm the type who just would rather look at my computer screen. Then music therapy is not really for the kind of people. We need to be people person who wants to meet and help others, interact with them, even at least professionally. So, I used to be a very introvert type, but while I was studying music therapy, it changed me. at least in music therapy setting. So, because I would like to make a difference in people's life, it's so much more enjoyable when we can contribute to the society as a member. So yeah, if you are interested in that, it's right career for you. Um, if you want to develop your musical skills further, it's right for you because we will continue to study. I took lessons on more on drums. I also took lessons on guitar, continued and also learning different musical instruments online or with like different softwares. Um, so if you are interested in developing your skills further, it's right for you. Quality of life, health, if you think that's very important. And it's not just the physical health, but if you believe that life is more about spiritual health, psychological health, social health, how to maintain good relationship with people you love, this could be right for you. So when you find these values agree with what you believe in, your attitude towards life, I think it's more likely to work out. So you can explore those perspectives in your statement of purpose. But also, we need to look at your academic ability as well. So talk about your interest in certain populations, certain theory, or certain areas. Like if you have seen certain um, materials out there about how music can help people recover from um, certain, let's say, stroke or brain damage. Then you can talk about those, why you are interested in those and specific areas. Um, your personal strength and weaknesses. Sometimes knowing your weakness is your strength because it provides accurate assessment of yourself, which actually we need to see in therapists. So therapists are those people who understand those people who have been hurt. So which means that we have been hurt ourselves. So it's more about how we have honestly assessed our weaknesses and talk about how we overcame rather than pretending like everything's okay and everything's perfect. And so that could be a good way to talk about your research interest, which population, which area you want to focus on. That could be also a good indication of your readiness for a master's program. And maybe you can talk about long-term and short-term goals in your life as a professional, what you want to achieve in your country, and so forth. Okay, so I guess that's all I can talk about. Let's go back to the questions. Oh, so the bachelor's degree is 3-year course. Okay, I think I will need to bring this question to the committee. I have never been asked this question before. Um, and so please email me so that we can provide you the answer directly. Okay. Can you still apply for a SEN scholarship? So we used to have our admission interviews in May. And one of the reasons that we moved up to April was that the time to apply for the ASEAN scholarship was too, immediate, and sometimes they couldn't apply in time. So if you go through the schedule that we posted, everything will be fine. That you'll be safe to apply for the ASEAN and non-ASEAN scholarship. So that's no problem. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Okay, so 3 year. So yeah, please email me and I'll try to discuss with the school committee member and see if there is a way. Personally, I have not experienced this before, and I cannot provide an answer at this point. All right. So do you have any other questions? And you can just unmute your microphone and ask me. I guess
Hi,
not. Oh, yeah.
sorry.
Good.
Can I ask a question about the document application document? Um, for the English proficiency test, if I graduate from my bachelor degree is from Thailand, but I graduate the postgraduate from England, can I use that as my
So
can I use
is
the
the
transcript?
postgraduate a master's program
Yeah,
or
yeah, in
like
master
one?
program. In
Okay,
music composition. Yeah,
master's program in music composition. So it was an international program.
yeah, yeah.
So
Can
so that's another case that I have never been experienced. When we talk about the bachelor's degree offered, I think, in my opinion, I don't think they will be applicable because bachelor's degree program is 4 years long, and the classes are not just focusing on one major area, but it requires general education from all over the school and different faculty. So that it requires actually higher, level of English proficiency to graduate from bachelor's rather than a master's program. So, and the English proficiency required for our program is actually quite high. To be safe, I think it's best to apply for the language proficiency test. You can also apply for the CU TEP, which is actually easier to gain in Thailand, um, which is not only offered at our university, but also other testing centers. So please also check that out. But if you will email me, I can also ask if there has been any other case in other department. But from my experience in other university, I don't think they will be, applicable. Okay.
okay. Thank
Thank you. Is there any other questions? Okay, so as I announced, we have International Symposium coming up, and we are very excited for that. We will have speakers from medicine, psychology. We have music therapy professors from Kanken University, Maido University, and our program. So you will get the chance to hear from many music therapy scholars. And also we have accepted abstracts from music therapists in the area. So they will also share their work. So if you come, it doesn't have to be just music therapists. It's open for anyone interested. So I think it'll provide you a chance to learn about different practice areas and also find out where music therapists work in the region. And if you are not able to come to campus that day, you can also apply for getting the recordings later. We are not going to be able to provide recordings for every session, but for those that we get agreement from the speakers, we are going to make them available on Vimeo. So you can sign up to participate online, watching the video later. So please do to sign up for that. Okay, so thank you very much for participating in today's online open house, and I hope this was helpful for you to understand our program. And please contact me if you have any other questions. I also accept requests for a small group meeting so that I can help you in a more, direct way. Okay, well, thank you for being here. Hope to see you in the next admission process. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.